This is Associate Professor Amani Jarrar. I'm from Jordan. I work in Philadelphia University. Just a brief idea, I'm specialized in political development education, and particularly in peace and democracy studies. My background is philosophy and philosophical studies. I come here just to introduce you before I begin. My talk would be about the role of media literacy in confronting hate speech among Jordanian society components, and this is a quantitative analytical study. This is where I come from, Jordan. For those who don't know Jordan, it's a place of the land of baptism. And this is our flag. Here, this is my university, Philadelphia University. The landscape of Philadelphia University and the name of Philadelphia University, maybe it's good for you to know that it's derived from the cultural heritage of Jordan. It's the former name of Amman, which is the capital of Jordan. And it was given to the name was given by Ptolemaeus Philadelphus. That was in the year 285 BC. Now the same name was, by the way, there's another university in America that was named Philadelphia, but I knew after that they changed the name so as not to have the same name. But Philadelphia is in Jordan, in Philadelphia, Jordan. It's in Jarrar. It was established in 1989 as a national higher education institution, and it is located in 20 kilometers in the north of Amman, the road of Jarrar. This is the picture that you see here is the touristic part, which is in Jarrar located. Where the Roman Empire was there in conquering in a certain area, a certain time era. Now this is the campus, our campus, just to have an idea where I come from, and we are happy to declare that we are the first, one of the first. We are number one in the private universities in our country. And we took that according to the ranking of the three rankings, the UniRank and the QS and the ranking of universities Webometrics. Now to start with the topic that I'm here for today, it is the role of media literacy in confronting hate speech among Jordanian society components. And the study here aims at, as you can see, analyzing media literacy and how through analyzing media literacy we can confront hate speech in Jordan. So here we are talking about a specific case study in Jordan, society components. And here I try to adopt the descriptive approach and the analytical approach, and here try to investigate the direct role of media literacy with, I've taken four capabilities or four cores. Access of media, understanding of media, evaluating and analyzing and interacting capabilities in confronting hate speech. Now the study consisted of 3,000 Jordanian individuals. They were in different governorates, different regions in Jordan, and from different also social, cultural, and economic levels. And a question was developed for that as a tool of collecting that data. Now, as you can see, media here, when we use media, we use it for a certain mission, and it is a social process by which information and opinions and ideas are exchanged between different groups or individuals within the society, and they represent sometimes different cultures and different goals. Now, media literacy was not that important, or it wasn't taken seriously in Jordan before, let's say, 5 years ago. Until we realize that there is a problem in hate speech. It's not only in Jordan, in the whole world, and maybe more in the Arab region and the Middle East, because of the clashes that we can see all around the country. Now it gained more importance and it increased, especially when we realized that some people are increasing and focusing more on fake news and rumors. Especially with the society loss of complete confidence sometimes in media and trust, sometimes with the citizens' loss of the spirit of criticism and how to be able to analyze and criticize in an ethical way, let's say, and how to make the right or how to make decisions, rational decisions in life and in societal issues. After that, media literacy became one of the, let's say, priorities in society in general. And of course, the modern information and when we talk about the introduction of communication technologies and how we can integrate that with the youth and their usage of media in a way that they can build up their society in a better way, especially if they use good models of thinking in all the countries, in their country. Now, in this research, I focused on, let's say, the main two cores, which is media literacy, which is the ability to access. This is one of the definitions in Livingston that was published in 2004. This is one of the definitions that I liked. It is media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media in a variety of forms. So it is access, analysis, evaluation, and creation of media. So different cores. And this is what made me think about it when I was working on the problem statement. Now, as for the hate speech, and this is from Howard in 2019, and I made some changes. It's not the whole quotation here, it's part of it. It's a speech or expression that denigrates a person or persons on the basis of alleged membership in social group, which is identified by attributes such as race, ethnicity, gender, orientation, religion, age, physical or mental disability, and others. And here you can think of different things when we say others. Now, according to that, based on that, that was my problem statement. That the study works or concentrates on consideration of the implications of media literacy and its role in limiting and combating the phenomenon of hate speech. And in that context, I thought that maybe diagnosing and understanding the context of the current situation in Jordan as such, within the context of current societal conditions around Jordan also. And I try to identify certain question, which is what is the role of media literacy in Jordan? If I take into account the four capabilities: access, understanding, evaluating, and analyzing, and interacting capabilities, so that we can confront hate speech among the different components that I've discussed now. Now, this is the model that represents the whole story here. It is the dependent variable, which is hate speech, depends on independent variables of media literacy. Again, they were all derived from the same definition, which is access abilities, understand capabilities, and evaluate and analyze the capabilities, and interacting capabilities. Now, there are lots of literature here, literature review that I refer to. Some of them reminds us here that hate is usually formed and nourished and directed by specific individuals or groups against individuals and other groups that are different in ethnicity or in language sometimes or in religion, and is often for political reasons. So this is very important. It's for political reasons mainly. That's well-drawn idea. And there are many reasons also for the emergence of hate speech, mostly and notably the wrong image of the other, the wrong image. Sometimes it is intended and sometimes it's not intended. And fear of competition, maybe perception that the other is the enemy, for example. And the wrong readings of history, maybe the way we assume and we reach results because of the way we were taught. The causes of hate speech lie in two dimensions or two things, according to Mabrih. And first, the politicians' influence. And this is happening in the Middle East mainly, and in the whole world as such. Political influence over media to meet their interests. And second, media professionals' poor understanding. And this is here, we have this problem in media. They call them professionals, but they are not actually. The poor understanding of the potential impact of some immoral words and sometimes images that encourage hatred and incite violence. Also, the importance of developing critical thinking. Sometimes we have a problem in the educational system in our world and in Arab world, let's say, and in Jordan as well. Of course, now things are changing because of such studies or such realization that we were not focusing on critical thinking the way that we used to be, for example, in the 70s. It was much better than nowadays. So concentrating on critical thinking, focusing on media literacy and development issues of people, and how to engage youth participation better in media so as to make the better influences to direct and create a better space for, instead of hate, let's say peace and love. So critical thinking skills were so important to be promoted by media literacy here, let's say. They have a role in the process of influence, resulting and affecting, let's say, the way we receive information. We point out certain media issues and how to alert people, mechanisms when dealing with something like with malicious media, for example, or messages with hate speech, with a great caution, and avoiding sharing or interacting with hate speech that is sometimes embedded in the content. I discussed also in my paper ideas that we're talking about freedom as the basis of responsibility, and that the free press is the only one that deserves to be to bear the responsibility of the word, responsibility that any burden of directing public opinion based on real foundation or not, that was criticized. And also the citizens' right to knowledge, not only to share knowledge, to know, as the essence of the journalistic work. Now, media is, we all know that media is the message, it is the message or the dialogue that is participated within the journalist with the people to preserve principles, for example, how they should deal with etiquette of the dialogue, and how to take into consideration the right observers of to be able to comment, respond, and correct sometimes, so as to reach the right or the general population. Whatever, and of course, here we are dealing with the private life and aiming at the human dignity of people all around. Now, study methodology, I don't want to waste a lot of time here on this, but study methodology was dealing with every part of that as a descriptive analytical approach. And I used the different variables that you can see here in front of you, female and males, The sample represented male more than females. That was unfortunately the way that we saw that journalists were most of them men more than women. And also if you want to have a look on the age way they were divided here, we have 22%, for example, that was between 26 to 40. Most of them were in from 41 to 51. So they are supposed about to be retired. But again, this is not affecting the way the message should be, and also the educational level. And here you can see the place of residence, how it affected. All this was discussed. And certain questions were raised in the questionnaire that show the respondents' attitude toward media literacy and access capabilities. For example, are they being able to access more media news? Does that increase exposure if you have more access to media? Does that increase exposure to hate speech, for example, or not? So this was one of the questions, and here are the answers and how they reacted to it. Also understanding, so it's introducing understanding media and evaluating and analyzing. So the same question were taken in the 4 capabilities, let's say, and then the last one was how they interacted with media. And I posed different hypotheses and took a decision on that, of course, in analysis, until I don't want to waste time on that, until I reach a certain conclusion that says that the data reflects that evaluation and analysis and analyzing the capabilities, they are the cornerstone of understanding the media content and the media discourse concerning the exposure of hate speech. So, and to end it here and sum it up, we can say that the data also show that the way we should confront media and hate speech, should be taken differently according to the capabilities of citizens and how they were taught in their educational system. By this, I want to sum up and conclude here. And here are some of the references I referred to, and you can see here also some of the references, so that in case we want to continue, if you have any question in the future. Thanks for giving me this opportunity, and if you have any question, please feel free.
How did you collect the information? Was it just you use some media, or it was just a survey? Or?
It was a questionnaire that was given to them. Some of them were face to face with groups, okay, and some of them they were given by email, and I have the feedback.
What was the methodology? Qualitative, quantitative?
Yeah, it is
a mixture of it.
Yeah, it's a mixture. Yeah.
I didn't see it in your.
Because I didn't want to waste a lot of time on that.
So, mixed methodology, yeah.
Yeah. When you want to talk about anything that is dealing with philosophy or politics, maybe you cannot work only on qualitative. You have to work on quantitative.
Yeah, it's up to the research.
Yeah, of course, but I find it more interesting to work this way.
I agree.
Yeah.
Is there a course that you are teaching at undergraduate level as a media literacy or something like that?
Yeah, I like this question. Yeah, actually in Jordan, there is a specialty in media literacy. We have a certain institution that gives a master degree in media literacy, but they have a very good effect. That was the leadership of that institution. They convinced the government and the higher institution, education ministry, that this should be taught, as you said, in our universities and of course in schools. In schools they already have done that. We have
which level? At which level?
They are trying to make it in all classes.
At all levels.
Yes, and in universities they are just beginning in that. Okay, but of course they are giving it as a compulsory, let's say compulsory course for everybody.
Elective or compulsory? Elective course?
No, no, compulsory. So as they have to take it whatever they are studying. Okay, but of course, if they want to focus on media and information, that's another specification. But also the critical thinking thing and the idea of how to make people able to communicate and have workshops and discuss freely. They are going back now to teaching philosophy. In 70s, there was a very, let's say, retreat in our country because of the political tension that was at that time, that they don't want to teach people, students, philosophy. And now they are realizing that that was the problem, and we are facing hate speech because of not having that space of freedom of opinion and this. So we are maybe we are beginning to go back to the right track, hopefully.
Yeah, I think nowadays they focus more on the science and mathematics.
Yes.
I think they should give equal weightage to ethics as well.
Thank you. Yes, that's it. I believe in this. I already. I come from, as I told you, from Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I was retired from there, and when I moved to this career, which is academic, and I'm so fond of research and this area because my background is philosophy. I suggested that we should teach ethical and not only national citizenship or ethical. That they are doing it now in, for example, in Dubai and Emirates, and but still in our country they are not realizing it. They say that it's suffice to have it within the different topics they teach, but I don't think that this is the right thing. Now, some of the universities, for example, Yarmouk University, which is to the north, they took that decision. So if it's not still it's not by the Ministry of Higher Education, still it's the freedom for each university to decide what. They have different ideas. Some are convinced, and some, it depends on the ideology of the president sometimes and the people working with them. Yeah, and also peace studies and peace education, also, and for example, humanitarian education, let's say, they are not given the right way in Jordan, I think. But things may change, hopefully, in the near future.
What's your origin of ancestry? Are you from Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm originally Palestinian. Okay, but we are all together. We have the nationality of Jordan as Jordanian. My mother is Kurdish. Okay, Kurdish, yes. My brother.
I'm from Turkey.
Ah, really? Okay, yeah.
I'm from Gaziantep on the Syrian border.
Okay. Yes.
On the Syrian border.
Yeah.
We have so many friends, Kurdish people.
Yeah.
We are living together.
Yeah.
For the past 1,000 years.
Right. Yeah, I believe in global. I have different books. One of them is global citizenship. So I believe in global citizenship. I don't.
Global or local, there is no problem.
Exactly, but the idea is that we shouldn't differentiate. We are all human beings. We all should care for others. We are all made by God, if you believe in God. So this is it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this presentation.
Thank you.
An important issue in a country like Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talk about philosophy, media literacy.
Yes.
Freedom of speech.
Exactly. Our king believes in this. Thanks God.
King
yes,
Abdullah.
yes, and his son.
So can I have this?
Yeah. So hopefully the generation would be different now.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
Right.
Now we'll introduce, to save your time, we have Dr. Abed?
Yes.
Yes. Abd Ali Khan. He will talk about positive impact of pandemic on e-learning, a progressive narrative.
Listen to this presentation as well.
Yeah.
I'll see how.
You're most welcome.
Would you like to come here or you're okay?
No, it's okay.
So if you want to come.
No, it's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
good if you are here because we are balanced in this case, because I belong to the same institution.
Read together.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Last year I
You are
also-
Mr. Tariq?
No,
No,
he's
I'm
John.
John Regan Taylor.
Yes.
You are from Pakistan originally?
India, Pakistan,
Uh-huh.
but we both are coming from Oman.
Okay.
We are representing Oman here.
Representing Oman. Very nice country. I visited Oman.
Yeah, it's very peaceful.
Peaceful, exactly. This is very good word. Do they teach, sorry, that's the last question. Do they teach ethics and...
We do. In
We do.
our institution,
Yeah,
we
we
do make sure that we teach ethics.
I think in all the countries where the freedom of speech on the name of democracy is not there, they are teaching ethics. And wherever you have like more of democratic kind of thing, and some people, it's basically the interpretation. Some people interpret it as
Right.
freedom of speech, and the others they don't do that. So
It's better to.
Or
call
freedom
it-
of religion, for example. Nowadays we are having this problem, freedom
That's
of
the thing,
religion.
yeah, that's
And
the
in
thing.
America, for example, they have this.
If you teach ethics under the name of religion, then it's considered something different.
Yes,
So
yes.
Exactly.
Okay. So can you start?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So this is a different kind of approach looking at the e-learning during pandemic. I've looked at a number of presentations and number of researchers. Everybody is talking about that e-learning was bad and pandemic had a bad effect on the students, and that generation is the concept of loss of learning, and the generation has lost a lot of things during that time. So we came up with this research.